Ramakatha Rasavahini, Prema Sudhamritavahini, Sathya Sanatani Dharma Swarupini, Shanti Pradayini Mokshakarini, Ramakatha Rasavahini, Ramakatha Rasavahini.
Just to recollect what we discussed last week, we are in chapter 1 of Ramakatha Rasavahini. Swami is speaking about the Rama principle and the Ramayana, the principle of Ramayana itself. Swami has told us that, we should not look at it like a story, but we should read it remembering the principle of Rama throughout the study of Ramayana. And so he starts off saying that the name Rama is the essence of the Vedas, and the story of Rama is the ocean of milk. And I think most of our discussion just stayed there. We discussed a variety of other things, sort of which evolved tangentially. We would like to limit that as much as possible. We'll try to focus on just studying what Swami has said and understand it. Just the statement itself. If anyone has something to say about the statement itself, we will discuss. But expanding it to other topics may slow down our progress. So I will just make that statement, and we'll ask someone to read the first slide once more, and if anyone has something to discuss, we can discuss. Just a revision.
Sure, I'll read it.
Sure.
The name Rama is the essence of the Vedas. The story of Rama is an ocean of milk, pure and potent. It can be asserted that no poem of equal grandeur and beauty has emerged from other languages or from other countries until this very day. But it has provided inspiration to the poetic imagination of every language and country. It is the greatest treasure inherited by his good fortune by every Indian. Rama is the guardian deity of the Hindus. The name is born by the bodies in which they dwell and the buildings in which those bodies dwell. It can safely be said that there is no Indian who has not imbibed the nectar of Ramakatha, the story of Rama. The Ramayana, the epic that deals with the story of the Rama incarnation, is a sacred text that is reverentially recited by people with all varieties of equipment. The scholar as well as the ignoramus, the millionaire as well as the pauper, the name that the Ramayana glorifies cleanses all evil. It transforms the sinner. It reveals the form that the name represents, the form that is as charming as the name itself.
Thank you very much, Satish. So we had read the Telugu and done some translation too. We had discussed mostly the first two sentences. Maybe we'll go to the third sentence. Swami says it can be asserted that no poem of equal grandeur and poetry beauty has emerged from other languages from other countries until this very day. But it has provided inspiration to the poetic imagination of every language and country. Does anyone would like to discuss that or share what you understand from this? What does Swami want us to understand here?
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram auntie.
It has provided inspirations to other poets, like Valmiki wrote Ramayana, but it has inspired Tulsidas and the other Telugu poets or Kannada poets who has written Tamil Kamba Ramayanam. All these people have taken the inspiration from Valmiki and they have written in other languages the story of Rama so that it reaches everyone. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you very much, auntie. Anyone else? Swami has mentioned the country also. Deshamu is, I think, Swami has used in Telugu.
Yes, Sai Ram, uncle. This is Rohit.
Yes.
So, I mean, one thing that I always like to think is that when Swami speaks, because Swami is, Kala Rupa, so Swami can see both past, present, and future. This Swami we can also apply this teaching in a practical way, and we can also bring this up to our SSC students who are coming up that, often when it comes to culture and be it music or form of arts or any form of entertainment, often uh, the new students, the new young people, they often look to the West, and they often look to this modern, in quotes and unquote, where something that is cool. So Swami's, this can also be applied to in our teachings to the SSC students, that we can find such warmth, such love, such positive feeling, which we are often seeking from the non-Indian culture, so to say. We can find it within our heritage itself, and we can also feel that warmth, that positivity by reading our scriptures, our Ramayana, our Mahabharata, or Vahinis that Swami, or the Chinna Kathas that Swami has said. So, as an example, the Ramayana is so rich that if we can give it time and our attention to understand it, we'll be able to derive those same positive feelings that we look for at other cultures. And that's why I think Swami has also mentioned other countries, because today the young student always runs first towards away from these cultures. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Rohit. Very nicely put, very wonderful. Does anyone else would like to share any thoughts?
Yes, Sai Ram, see, the beauty of Ramayana, and as Swami said, even in this modern world, it has captured the whole of India. When Ramanand Sagar produced that Ramayana series in a serial, when most of the people enjoyed Ramayana from the entire period, and I used to know that the traffic used to stop, or the train used to stop on stations when the Ramayana was being telecasted. So what Swami said came into reality even today.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you. Okay, so I think Rohit and Shankaran have touched the next line also. It's the greatest treasure inherited by his good fortune by every Indian. To point, very nicely described. We will take to the next paragraph. I guess anyone would like to discuss. Rama is the guardian deity of the Hindus. The name is borne by the bodies in which they dwell and the buildings in which those bodies dwell. It can be safely said that there's no Indian who has not imbibed the nectar of Ramakatha, the story of Ram. Anyone would like to discuss, share anything which comes to your mind?
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
I came across another discourse by Swami where Swami is expanding the word Rama. Of course, last time Sai Satish was mentioning about Agni and what did he say? I forgot. Yeah.
So Ra is fire.
Fire.
A is sun. And Ma is moon.
Moon. Yeah, that's correct. So these are all sources of light and energy. And actually, these are not, they do not have their illumination of their own. It is given by the Supreme Lord. That is why it is Natatrobhati Nachandra Tarakam. That mantra reveals that even the sun, the moon, or the Agni, they don't have their own illumination. It has to come from the Supreme Lord. That's light of lights. He is the one. It is the one giving lights to them. I remember that, and then I wanted to share it with Sai Ram. And Swami says that Kushanu Bhanu Himakareti. That's what he used the word.
Yes.
Kushanu, Kusha means Agni, Bhanu is Surya, Himakara. That is Himakara. What is it?
Himakara is one maker of snow.
Himakara was not used. For Chandra, he used something else.
Or
Sheetala, something like that, which cools down.
okay.
That word used. Kushanu Bhanu. I wrote it down somewhere. I just came across that, so I wanted to say it.
Okay, thank you very much, Auntie. It's because it's Tulsidas who says, Heti Krishna Bhanu Himakarko, which Swami has quoted, which Tulsi, Krishanu Bhanu Himakarate. That's also another one, in a couple of discussions Swami has said. Auntie.
That's what I wanted to say. Sorry.
Yeah. Himakarate only. Hima means someone who cools down. Cools because of the moon's light. Everything cools down is, I think, what Swami has said. Thank you, Auntie. I think there was a bit of some questions came from some people. Maybe I will address that also. Because in some discourses, Swami has said Ra is fire, A is sun, and Ma is moon. There are some discourses where Swami has said A is moon and Ma is sun also. So someone sent a question, how can these two be different, which is correct? Oh, okay, so that's a question which was posed, so I thought I will address that also. In Sanskrit, some of the words have multiple meanings. So in that sense, A also signifies sun as well as moon. Ma also signifies sun as also moon. So both the meanings are correct, but Swami wants to drive home the point that there are three principles at work, which is the fire principle, the sun principle, and the moon principle. How it's linked to the letter can differ, because there are different works on Rama, the name Rama commentaries, and they have used differently. And Swami also has used them differently, but the principles remain the same for Rama. Thank you, Auntie. So the next paragraph we can take a look at. The Ramayana, the epic that deals with the story of the Rama incarnation, is a sacred text that is reverently recited by people with all varieties of equipment, the scholar as well as the ignoramus, the millionaire as well as the pauper. The name that Ramayana glorifies cleanses all evil. It transforms the sinner. It reveals the form that name represents, and the form that is as charming as the name itself. I think some points have already been discussed, but I will ask anyone who would like to discuss why is Swami saying that everyone reads, whether the scholar or the ignoramus, millionaire or the pauper.
Sai Ram, I'll just mention that in terms of the scholar as well as the ignoramus, the way I see it is that the Ramayana has so many layers. So the Ramakatha Rasavahini, it doesn't matter what sort of age you belong to, what level of education or even an intellect. There's always something for anyone who even takes it literally as history, right up to the highest even Vedantic level. So that's the beauty of it. It's a multi-layered cake, so to speak. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you. And I think the last line, which already Swami has covered this, the Ramayana name cleanses all evil. It transforms a sinner. The three principles, and the form that name represents, it is charming as the name. The moon is the one which charms. The fire is that which removes the sins, and the sun which cleanses all evil. which we discussed, the Tapa, Shapa, Papa, so does anyone would like to share anything or discuss? Otherwise, we will proceed.
Sai Ram, I have a question here, because Swami mentions it reveals the form that the name represents, the form that is as charming. Just because I was also listening to one of the other discourses where Swami mentions about Rama is not limited to one form. Kind of Swami mentions about Atma Rama. So is it here that because we and Swami does mention that it's because that is why every person should take up the sadhana of constantly contemplating the name of Rama. So is it the form is just for us to visualize so that we would be able to connect? Is that the connection here? And I just want to understand.
Very good question, Varuni. I think we have discussed in a couple of other Vahinis also, but I will ask others to share. A very good question. I think excellent question. Actually, we should just to understand what Swami says here is very important. Thank you for the question. Anyone who would like to discuss what Bharani asked? Is it knowing that we are the Atma, the Atma Rama principle, or should we? Is it a form which we should worship and find it pleasing? Is the question. One is outside, one is inside, I guess. So that's the question Bharani is asking. When Swami
Kind
says,
of Bhaja Japa. Once again, going back to one of the other discourses that
Yes,
Swami was
yes.
mentioning.
Anyone would like to discuss? I think those who discussed were part of Sathya Sai Vahini study circle should be able to share. There are two qualifications for a devotee. A clue. The qualifications for to call oneself Astika Dharma Paradu. That's what Swami says. So I will ask anyone.
Ishvara Sakshatkara.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other one was Anubhuti.
Atmanubhuti.
Atmanubhuti, Ishvara Sakshatkara.
Thank you very much, Auntie. I think if people are keeping silent. So Swami says, for anyone to call themselves a devotee or one who believes in God, there are two qualifications needed. One is Ishvara Sakshatkara. Just to explain, I think if we go to the retreat we discussed this. Swami says, Ishvara Sakshatkara means not just imagining that, God is there. Swami says, Mukha Mukhiga, you have to see. That means face to face, you have to see God. You have to see God in flesh and blood in front of you, with whom you can have a conversation. We have to get to that point, is what Swami discussed when we discuss Samipya Sarupya. And then Swami also says Atmanubhuti, realizing that we are the Atman is also important. So as you can see, Swami says Rama, the name Rama is capable of giving both. He will give he reveals the form that name represents and the form that is as charming as the name itself, which is Atma Abhirama. Swami has discussed in many discourses this. So thank you, Bharani. So both are equally important and both are granted by Ramanama is my understanding. Thank you. Anyone else would like to complement that or say anything?
Hi, Ramana. I just add to that. So I was just looking at what Swami had mentioned also in, I think, one of the session with the students when they were sitting there and pressing Swami's feet. Swami mentioned that right now these boys are very happy pressing Swami's feet because they feel they are doing it for Swami. If they are able to feel that when they are pressing the feet of another elderly person also and feel that they are doing it for Swami, then that is where the joy or the happiness gets sustained. So I was just trying to apply it as initially we see that name as associated to one form of Rama, but then if we can extend that feeling that Rama pervades in everybody, then it goes to a level of seeing or getting that happiness not just from one form but extending to others. And how that happens is based on the Atma Rama inside, feeling that it is that same Rama within me who is in everybody and essencing that joy. So I was just trying to put it as the same thing, what we say, the light is in me, I am in the light, and the I and the light are one. So in that way, how how the name connects to the form or the form connects to the name. Now I think in the context of Swami's omnipresence, I think we have the name which is as good as the form, because if you have the name, you have the form. If you have the form, you have the name. So that way, how it how it helps us connect to stay connected in the omnipresence and essence that omnipresence also.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. So, I think, can we discuss the name that Ramayana glorifies, cleanses all evil, and then Swami follows up with this. Okay. Why is, when we are studying Ramayana, why would Swami say this? Also something which sort of, why suddenly Swami is going to Rama? We can chant the name of Rama. Why should we study Ramayana? While studying Ramayana, should we stop and chant the name of Rama? Those are questions which popped up. Anyone who may have thought about it, or what do you think would be?
I think within Ramayana itself, Sri Rama exhibits various types of Rama: Godanda Rama, Atma Rama, Janaki Rama. All those exhibitions are done within the Ramayana. So I think it is not only one Rama which we want to read. We want to read the entire epic so that we can understand the various sides of Rama. That's what my little sense says.
Thank you very much for the thank you. Does anyone else have something to share?
Sai Ram, another question here, probably. Going with what Swami says, the name that the Ramayana glorifies cleanses all evil. So is it like, do we need to study Ramayana? Why not just chant Ramanama alone? Would that not help us move forward? Why we should that? Would that name itself help us? Help us attain, help us put ourselves into the spiritual path. Why should Ramayana be read here? So, because Swami mentions name, that the name itself cleanses all evil. So, evil both outside and inside. So, why should Ramayana first of all be read in that case?
Thank you very much.
Just want to, what I think that Ramayana, the characters, apart from the main Ram, Janaki, Vibhishana, and all other Hanumanji, Kaushalya Mata, Dasharatha. So each character, how they glorify, how they see, their perspective also to understand for us is very important. And I think that is why Rama, yes, we can liberate the name of Rama itself, but to see the other's view, that glorifies also, that gives the bhakti also to us in a various ways. So that's why the Ramayana story is very important.
Thank you very much, Beena. Very nice. Very nice.
Sai Ram.
Yes, Sai Ram.
This is Auntie.
Yes, Auntie.
Rama, name itself, will cleanse all evil, but at the same time, Ramayana is the path of, it is showing us how the path Rama led all through his lifetime in every stage of his life. This will educate us at every time, every occasions, in adverse situation, how we have to handle our life, our choices. Everything is being told by the story, the Ramayana, the path of Rama. So we have to understand and comprehend and assimilate, and we have to practice in our life. That's why Ramayana story, apart from the name itself, is more important. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you very much, Auntie. Thank you. Sai Satish, you have your hand up.
Sai Ram. So, if we see right from the author of Ramayana, if we just look at the life of Valmiki, we know how it started as Ratnakara, and with Ratnakara chanting Mara, over time how that Mara got transformed to Rama, and how with that chanting of that name Rama, how Ratnakara became Valmiki. So just looking at the life of Valmiki's transformation itself tells us what the name of Rama can do in terms of literally transforming a highway robber to one of the greatest sages who has walked the earth. That is in terms of his chanting the name of Rama. But then I was asking myself, after we had this discussion in other Vahinis, Satsang, that they say that when Valmiki or Ratnakara was chanting, and ultimately he is called Valmiki because he came out of Valmika, which is an anthill. And sometimes when one ant crawls on my body itself, I try to brush it away because it's very disturbing. Here was a person who lost his complete body consciousness, so much so that an anthill formed, and that went on, I don't know for how many hundreds of years, which ultimately made him come out of that Valmika anthill, making him a Valmiki. So again, what we also discussed was two aspects. One is the Ramanama, which Swami has told in his discourse. One is Aushadam and other is Patyam. Aushadam is the medicine and Patyam is the prescription of following a diet, a regimen. So while the medicine is chanting Lord Rama's name, what is the Patyam or the diet is reading Rama's story, understanding and digesting, doing the Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasana, and then we essence. And here when the previous line says that people across all walks of life, whether it's a millionaire or a pauper, anyone can relate to Ramayana because Ramayana has something to offer to every person. Whether it's a child, all the way to the elderly population, it has something to offer, and that is where people come. Why do we go to the ocean? Because we know it's a source of water. Why do we come to Ramayana? Because we know that it is that source of that happiness. And so we have the Ramanama, which again is the medicine, but at the same time understanding and how to take that medicine and follow a diet. I think by reading the Rama story, we will essence that, and that is where reading the story, chanting the name become two aspects to it, which will guide us to essence the Rama principle. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Yes, Brother Yoga.
Sai Ram, if we taste a chocolate once, when we don't eat the chocolate again, do the thing about and taste. One time you eat the chocolate, you know the sweetness. So after that, without chocolate, you can feel the sweetness. So once you read the Ramakatha, and every time you remember, it will give you a happiness and the cool down in your mind kind of thing. And you experience the kind of thing. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, brother. So, reading the Ramayana is eating the chocolate of Rama, and when we repeat the name, we remember the taste of the chocolate. Very nice, very nice. Make it very practical, I guess, in our lives. Wonderful. I think maybe we'll go to the next slide if it's okay.
As the sea is the source of all waters on earth, all beings are born from Rama. A sea sans water is unreal. A being sans Rama is without existence, now or ever. The azure ocean and the Almighty Lord have much in common. The ocean is the abode of the Almighty, as myth and legend proclaim. They describe him as reclining on the ocean of milk. This is the reason behind the title given by Valmiki, son of Prachetas, the great poet who composed the epic, to each canto, Kanda. Kanda means water, an expanse of water. It also means the sugar cane. However crooked a cane may be, whichever section you chew, the sweetness is unaffected and uniform. The stream of Rama's story meanders through many a curve and a twist. Nevertheless, the sweetness of Karuna, tenderness, pity, compassion, persists without diminution throughout the narrative. The stream turns and flows through sadness, wonder, ridicule, awe, terror, love, despair, and dialectics. But the main undercurrent is the love of Dharma, righteousness, morality, and the Karuna, compassion it fosters.
Thank you very much. I think we have read this in Telugu also last week itself. So we will just discuss. Swami, I think the second sentence in the first page where Swami says the story of Rama is Milky Ocean. Swami is coming back to that in these paragraphs. And Swami has used the word ocean, and then he has also used the word ocean of milk. So if anyone would like to discuss any of the points. First, let me ask, as the sea is the source of all waters on earth, all beings are born from Rama. If anyone would like to discuss that itself. And a being sans Rama is without existence now or ever. So what can we do with this? I think, what Swami has said, we have to taste as the chocolate. What is the chocolate taste here? What do we have to understand from this? So I think the whole idea of Swami explaining to us is that when we read the rest of the story, the state of mind, how we should approach it, will become much clearer, and that's why we are spending a bit of time. Swami has written, and we are trying to understand so that it will help us the journey of reading the Ramakatha Rasavahini. Anyone would like to share any thoughts? Yes, Sister.
Sai Ram, my understanding here, the Rama is not portrayed as the character in the maybe the Ramayana epic, but in this particular context, Rama means Atma. That's why Swami says a sea without water is unreal. That we knows in practically in front of the eyes. If there is no water, we wouldn't say sea. But a being without Rama is without existence. That is also, it's true. A human being if it doesn't have Atma or soul, then we wouldn't say that, Didi, it's a human being. We would say it differently. It's like instead of Sivam, we will say Savam, maybe that sort of meaning it comes in here in this particular the passage. Swami says that for a sea to exist, maybe without having water, there is no sea at all. Similarly, if there is no Atma, then there is no, being at all. That means that you have to have the Atma, spark of divine in each human being. That's what I interpret from this one. The maybe it could be interpreted differently by others. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, sister. Just one line was tripping me. You said this is not the character in the story of Rama. So if you can elaborate on that.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Auntie.
The first sentence, all beings are born from Rama. Here Rama means Paramatma, not Atma. It is Paramatma. So from Paramatma, the last sentence, the ocean and the Almighty Lord have much in common. So and also it is this Paramatma it came into existence with the creation of the whole universe, as per Purusha Sukta. So it is not during the Treta Yuga Rama that all creations came. It is at the beginning of the creation of the universe, Paramatma came into existence, and from there all beings started they were created. So it is not during the Treta Yuga Rama. Thank you.
And if that is the case of Sakhanti, why we call Atma Rama instead of Paramatma Rama? All the songs and everywhere we call Atma Rama. Maybe I thought Atma and Paramatma is maybe the meaning would be the same instead of Atma and maybe Paramatma is two different things. Maybe just a little clarification, brother, I don't know on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. Anyone would like to share anything? Is Rama Paramatma or just Atma? That's one question. Means both, it can be separate, it can be the same. But anyone else would like to share anything, please?
I thought it's Sai Ram, brother.
Yes.
I think it's meant for the, like how Swami is Hridayavasi in that sense. I'm not sure. It says Atma Rama. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share?
So I think I
Yes.
took it as when it says Rama, a being sans Rama is without existence. I think I took it as nothing is possible without Rama. And I think about that episode where they're trying to cross over the ocean to get to Lanka, and they were only able to put down the stones with Rama's name on every single stone in order to cross that ocean. And in that ocean includes the streams, the turn and flows of the sadness and the terror and everything that Swami describes, and that undercurrent of love that is Dharma, which is in Rama is how I've understood.
Okay, thank you, sir. Session has crossed the bridge actually already. It's okay. We are going to the end of Ramayana almost. It's fine. Yeah, anyone else would like to share any thoughts? See, maybe I will go if no one else goes. See, the problem with
the ocean is abode of the Almighty. It means that Rama himself is Narayana, who is reside in Kshirsagara. And when you see Narayana's meaning, he resides in our Hridaya, in mankind. So that's what I would say.
Thank you very much.
I think Rama is Paramatma, but because he lives in everyone, he is Paramatma, so Atma Rama.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. So my understanding is, until we realize the Atman, this small Atman is the big Atman, we have the distinction of Atma and Paramatma. That's only because we don't understand that the Atman is the Paramatman. Because we limit the Paramatman, who is the spark of it in us, and we think it is Atman. At some point we have to realize that we are the Atman and the Paramatman are one and the same when we reach, I guess, Sayujya. So until then, the distinction may remain. But beyond that, generally the word Paramatma is used in contrast with the Jivatma. When we consider that we are a Jivatma, we are separate from the Paramatma. That distinction comes. But I think, as others have said, the one who resides in our heart is always Atma Rama. Yes, Sai Ram Rohit, please go ahead.
Yes, uncle. So very interesting thought. So, I mean, if you look at it, the difference be the sense of I, right? Like the individual Jivatmas are there. We are all individual Jivatmas. How many of us are here right now? 39 of us. So there are 39 Jivatmas here who are experiencing their own individual character based on their karma and desires and their past journey, which has landed them here. But at the same time, we are also experiencing that I-ness, that I is there, which everyone has that same I. Swami says when you go beyond the I-ness, you reach the highness, right? So, I mean, that I is the Paramatma, which is in everybody. So, the Paramatma cannot be he or she. The Paramatma always has to be I, the Paramatma. But when you look at it from a Jivatma perspective, then the duality sets in, like, okay, he is here, she is here, I am here, my brother is there, my sister is there. But that all pervading in all the consciousness is I, the Paramatma. So the Paramatma will only be I. The Paramatma cannot be duality, but the Jivatma can experience duality. But if you go beyond that and you merge in the Paramatma, at that time, Aruna uncle and Rohit and everybody, they're all the same part of that the universe that is there once you reach the Paramatma. So I think there cannot be duality in Paramatma, but when you are in Jivan, when you are a Jivan, what is that? Jivatma, Jiva, then you experience that duality. So the Paramatma cannot experience duality. It's always in single I. That's what I understood from Swami's discourses. Sorry. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. So we leave it at that. But then how does this relate to the character in the Ramayana story? Can we merge these two together or not?
I have to say on that what you said sentence. We were last night hearing one of the guests just arrived in Canada, Anupam Nagar, and he gave the talk, and in his experience he was telling that because he's a poet, he writes a poem. So he recited a poem to Swami, and his line was like, Jivan Mukti, it was about. So Swami says that आप जीवन मुक्ति मांग रहे हो? Are you asking जीवन मुक्ति? There is no mukti. You and I are one. And he kept saying same thing, line reading over and over, and Swami really had to stop him and say, stop, you and I are one, there is no mukti. So I just wanted to say that because the last sentence, what you say on that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so shall we then we'll go to the reclining on the ocean of milk. Swami is talking about. So I think we were discussing what is the Milky Ocean relates to. Swami has given two things here, it looks like. The word kanda, Swami says one is the sweetness, one is the water. So I think maybe the milk signifies sweetness, madhuram, I think. Anyone would like to discuss that? I think so. We have to taste the sweetness at every part of the story, and then only we can really enjoy the Milky Ocean, which is the story of Rama. So you have to drink the milk. I think another place where Swami has used this analogy of milk is Krishna milks, the Upanishads and gives us Gita. And Swami calls it Gita Amritam. That's the Gita, that what is squeezed out of the Upanishads as milk is the nectar of Gita. So I was sort of reminded of that also. So the Rama story will give us that nectar in a story form. And Swami wants us to... and he says that the last line he's talking, there are two things which we should taste in the Rama story everywhere. Swami calls it Antarvahini in Telugu. He says the undercurrent of Dharma and Karuna. Anyone would like to discuss that? This is how Swami has sort of... so hereafter we should understand that every statement Swami makes, if you have questions, subsequently later on Swami explains it. We will find the explanation from Swami himself. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
I was just going back to what we were talking about, the sweetness part. So whether we tell in terms of Paramatma, Jivatma, or we say in terms of capital I, small I, or about the ocean and the wave, ultimately it comes down to that sweetness which is all pervasive takes the form so that we can experience that sweetness in a more crystallized fashion, which again goes back to what Swami would say of a Mysore pak or so on. If we take a big Mysore pak and from that we break a part of it, that is also sweet, this is also sweet. So in terms of the Purnamada Purnamidam, essencing that omnipresent sweetness, if that is challenging, that is where I think when the Lord comes down as an avatar, in this case when we are talking about Ramakatha, about Rama's story, to essence that sweetness in a tangible form becomes easier. And how that is essenced is how the avatar at every step of the journey. In fact, it is said, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. So he is the very embodiment of Dharma, and that is where the undercurrent of everything being that love of Dharma, or whether it is the Karuna Rasa that is essenced, the avatar becomes a vehicle to essence that sweetness in its absolute sense and helps to relate to the omnipresent Lord. So that way, the Paramatma coming as a Jivatma in that form, while telling every other Jivatma that they are the Paramatma, to essence that whether we call it as Prema Rasa or Karuna Rasa or the path of Dharma, all of that, to essence it through that medium of avatar becomes tangible. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. I think Rohit, you had raised your hand and then dropped it. Didn't want to share your Karuna Rasa.
No, uncle. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, I was thinking about one thing that I read the other day in Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 3, where Swami says, Rama showed man how to bear suffering, while Krishna taught him how to overcome it. So I was thinking how Lord Rama showed how to suffer. So if you think about it, where it says here is the main undercurrent is the love of dharma, righteousness. I think there it is very fascinating to see that in every step of the way, as we read through the Ramayana, Lord Rama showed an excellent sense of adherence to dharma from starting from where um, the family was some members of the family asked Lord Rama to leave. Lord Rama was well within his rights to protest, saying that why should I leave? I am the prince. Lord Rama was well within the rights, but Lord Rama went beyond those self rights and went only sticking to dharma, and then throughout the next 14 years suffered in the jungle where even Mother Sita was taken away. And then after that, coming back, when finally people would have thought, oh, now good times might start for Lord Rama, can lead a family life, can lead the kingdom. No, then Mother Sita had to go away, and then the children Sri Love and Sri Kush also had to stay away. Constant suffering for Lord Rama, but strict adherence to dharma. So I think that's where when I read this, the main undercurrent is the love of dharma, which is righteousness and morality. I immediately was able to connect that to what Swami said in Sathya Sai Speak, that Lord Rama showed us how we can bear pain. But I think it's extremely difficult, in my personal opinion, to lead a life like Lord Rama, where Lord Rama stuck to righteousness and dharma and duty, morality, despite all the troubles that life threw, all the troubles that Maya threw. I think very, very difficult. That's what I feel. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Rohit. Just to add something to that, Krishna also had his share of suffering, but the way he dealt with was slightly different, I think. But I think it's another that we will discuss when we study the Bhagavat Vahini. So we will move on. If everyone is fine, we can go to the next slide.
Sai Ram, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I know that the Dharma is very front and center in this epic, but Karuna, I find it hard to figure out where that is very evident. It's maybe indirect Karuna, because I know he showed it for Shaburi, but I don't really like what he did to his wife, and when she went through giving birth I just feel that that's not very compassionate, to be honest. So I don't know if you can shed some light on that.
I think we will definitely, sister, we will discuss at that point in time, and then you hopefully you will taste the Karuna there. So I will just leave, because I think the reality is that's why we are going to read the Telugu. I will have to tell you, there are many areas things did not come through in the English. It will come through in the Telugu. So when we will read, and definitely will discuss, and that's my personal belief that all of us will taste these two, or we should strive to take these two in every part of the story. See, that's why Swami is setting we will find the Rama, just to, I don't want it to be a spoiler, but we have discussed, you will find the Lord removing the sin, Lord removing the sharper or the evils which have come because of other people's curse, and also the suffering of people, how it can be also cooled. the fire, the sun, and the moon, all three are actually compassionate. We may not realize it, but they are compassionate. Just like the sun today is compassionate, we may say it's too hot or too cold, but that's also compassionate. When we come to those points, we will definitely see whether we can taste karuna. I think so. That will be a question we will explore every point in time throughout the story. So without tasting the karuna and the dharma, we will not move forward at every point in the story. That's what I would say. So I will leave that for the time being, if you do not mind.
Sure, thank you.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram, Sai just read.
The nectar in the story of Rama is as the Sarayu river that moves silently by the city of Ayodhya, where Rama was born and where he ruled. The Sarayu has its source in the Himalayan Manasa Sarovar, as this story is born in the Manasa Sarovar, the lake of the mind. The Rama stream bears the sweetness of Karuna. The stream of Lakshmana, his brother and devout companion, has sweetness of devotion, bhakti. As the Sarayu river joins the Ganga, Ganges, and the waters commingle, so too the streams of tender compassion and devotion, the stories of Rama and Lakshmana, commingle in the Ramayana. Karuna and Prema, love, make up between them the composite picture of the glory of Rama. That picture fulfills the heart's dearest yearning for every Indian. To attain it is the aim of every spiritual striving. The effort of the individual is but half the pursuit. The other half consists in the grace of God. Man fulfills himself by self-effort as well as divine blessings. The fulfillment takes him across the dark ocean of dualities onto the immanent and transcendent one.
Thank you very much, Sai. Auntie, shall we read the Telugu?
Yes. Sai Ram. Sarayu Nadi vantiది Ramakatha Rasavahini.
The river Sarayu is river Sarayu, Ramakatha, the story of Rama, and the flow of the story of Rama is similar to
Sarayu.
the river Sarayu.
Manasa Sarovarame Dini Janmastanamu.
The lake of the mind is the birthplace.
Lakshmanudu Ganga Vantivadu.
The Lakshmana is the river Ganga.
Idi Chittamanu Shirassuna Puttinidi.
This is born in the head, which is called Chitta.
Ramavahini Karunarasamu.
The stream of Rama is the stream of, or the essence of compassion.
Lakshmana Prema Bhakti Rasamu.
Lakshmana stands for the essence of love and devotion.
Sarayu Nadi Gangalo Cherinutula Karunarasamu Bhakti Rasamuna Leena Magunu.
Just the way the river Sarayu merges in the Ganga river or joins the Ganga river, the same way the essence of Karuna, compassion, and the essence of Bhakti, devotion, are merging.
Ramudu Lakshmanituto Ekatvamainadu.
Rama became one with Lakshmana.
Karuna Premala Militame Rama Abhimatamu.
The wish of Rama is the combination of compassion and love.
Ade Bharatiyala Matamu Bhaktula Vratamu. That
is the religion of the Bharatiyas, and that is the vow of the devotees.
Jivula Purusharthamu Sagamu Satyame Matrame.
Auntie, we didn't read that, I think, in the
effort individual Pachilkar.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Jivula Purusharthamu Sagamu Satyama Matrame.
So the Purusharthas, the goals of the human beings, are just half the truth.
Anduku Daiva Karuna Katakshamunu Marisagamu Satyamu Cherinapade Purnatumu Kagaladu.
That can become complete only another half, which is the other half of the truth, which is the grace of the Lord. Only then it becomes complete.
మానవత్వము పురుషార్థముతో పాటు దైవానుగ్రహమును కూడా అందుకొనుటకు తగిన ప్రయత్నములు జరపవలెను. I think he has read it. Did he read it? That fulfillment task. Yes, correct. మానవత్వము పురుషార్థముతో పాటు దైవానుగ్రహమును కూడా అందుకొనుటకు తగిన ప్రయత్నములు జరపవలెను. Proper.
So human beings have to make effort not only to pursue the purusharthas, the goals of human life, but also earn the grace of God.
Yeah, I think that's it. Ocean of dualities.
So I think
he stops.
I got to read the next line also in Telugu.
అవలి గట్టును చేరుటకు ఇది ఆధారమైన సేతువు.
So this is the bridge which takes us, which supports us to cross to the other side.
Other side.
Okay. Thank you, Auntie.
I think that's where it stops. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. So Swami is comparing the story of Ramayana as the river of Sarayu and the Ganges. How they born from the Manasa Sarovar and they merge, join each other and become one. Swami is comparing that to compassion and love or devotion. So I will, then Swami is, taking us and saying the whole is only half human effort, half God's grace. Without these two, it will never be complete. That's what Swami says. This is also demonstrated by Ramayana. And I will stop here. I think it's 10:02, but we can discuss for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes if everyone is fine. I guess everyone knows the Sarayu River, which flows. Yes, Sai Ram. Shubha Bhanu.
Sai Ram Anna. No, my question was, so Swami.
Sorry, go ahead.
So Swami is saying Rama is Karuna and he merges with Lakshmana, which is Ganges. So that like denoted by devotion, right? So what does that mean? Like, why is it not devotion merging with compassion? Is that the way it needs to be done? Like, I'm not sure if I'm framing the question right.
No, I think it's fine. The question is right. I will ask others. Anyone who would like to volunteer based on whatever we have read. What is this merging of Karuna and Prema? And already Sister Suji has asked, she can't feel the Karuna anywhere. Or at least in some places it's missing. Yes, Sai Ram, Sai Satish.
Sai Ram, I will base it on the second paragraph which Swami has said. One half being human effort and other being God's grace. So if we see even the story of Gajendra Moksha, the elephant king calls out and the Lord rushes. Any story we see, bhakti comes in and karuna comes and in turn floods the response to the bhakti. So like Swami also says in the other song, Manava Yatnamo and Daiva Dinamo, human effort and God's grace. So no doubt, even if we take the whole thing of Lakshmana's life was full in terms of servitude to Lord Rama, and then in response the Karuna Rasa from Lord Rama, whether it is enveloping Lakshmana or everyone is another aspect. But nevertheless, it is the prayers go up and grace comes down.
Yeah.
So that way, ultimately, even if we see the Karuna going and mingling with the devotion, it is like the call of the devotion beckons the flow of Karuna to go and merge into. So you can perceive it that way also, that even as Ganga, as pure and as Saline in its offering of devotion, that is Lakshmana is flowing as the Ganges, the Sarayu comes running, because ultimately the Lord is at the beck and call of the devotee, so he runs and responds to it, and then the Sarayu comes and merges into the Ganges. But I'll stop at that. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sai Ram, brothers,
Yes.
the one little the question in here, according to these two passages, Rama represents the Karuna and the Lakshmana represents the devotion, and the Bharata represents the love. What has been given to Satrugna in the story of Rama? And that is one of my question. And I also agree with Suji that maybe all four characters, it brings the karuna, devotion, and the love. But Rama definitely, missing the love, the component of love here, and we all know the story of Rama, the Ramayana, and definitely he misses that the component of love. But the love, it would go better suit for the character of Bharata, and that's why I thought when we come into this story, the Satrugna, what is the component has been given to him in the epic of Ramayana?
Sai Ram sister, you have a bit more karuna to include Bharata here. Swami lacked it. He did not include Bharata at all. So Bharata is not included in this analogy. It's an analogy which Swami is talking about Rama and Lakshmana only. So Bharata is not in the picture here, at least, as far as I could see. So I don't know where you found, I was reading it again and again, but I can't find Bharata anywhere.
Maybe I fill in the blanks. Maybe this Swami put Rama and the Lakshmana, and I thought the Bharata also, it's the main character portrayed, the human characters and the underline of the love, I thought, in my personal view, I thought for the love, maybe the Bharata would better fit into that category.
Okay, thank you, sister. I think maybe for the next 5 minutes, we'll only discuss Karuna. Unless we address Karuna, understand what Swami meant by Karuna here, I don't think we should proceed further.
Okay.
Because we had to first find Karuna in this passage. I think, as I said, everything we read, we are going to see Karuna and Dharma. So where is this Karuna? What does Swami mean by Karuna here? I would ask everyone to share your opinion or your understanding. Let me say, not opinion, your understanding based on whatever Swami has written here. What is Swami meaning by the word Karuna? I think it's a good discussion. We may not complete it, but we can discuss a little and everyone can ponder over it for 1 week and then we'll come back.
Sai Ram, Arun.
Yes, Auntie.
One thing is missing here.
Yes.
Lakshmanudu Ganga Vantivadu. Is there any mention of that?
In English?
Yeah, in English only.
Yes, it is there.
Joins the Gangas. That's all it said.
Yes, so Sarayu is the story of
Lakshmanudu.
Rama stream. There is the stream of Lakshmana as a sweetness of devotion. Sarayu river joins the Ganga.
It is not exactly that. The translation is not Lakshmanudu Ganga Pantivadu.
Very good. Thank you for Auntie. I also asked because I read the Telugu and I am thinking I read it in English. So, okay, to repeat to everyone, Lakshmana represents Ganges. Rama represents Sarayu. And without Sarayu joining the Ganges itself is not complete.
Yeah.
Because after Sarayu joins Ganges, only Ganges is left. But it's a Ganges with Sarayu, which underneath it is there. Inherently, it is Sarayu also. But we will go to, what did Swami mean by Karuna here?
Yeah, well, next.
We will discuss what is Karuna. Because I think many people are missing Karuna. So I think we should properly understand Karuna before we leave today, to the extent possible. We have only 4 minutes left. Anyone who would like to volunteer, what does Swami mean? What does Swami mean by Karuna here? Based on all what we have read in these paragraphs. Okay, everyone is. Maybe I will just tell a story, and then we will. I will leave it, and then we can come back. This I will just share my understanding, and when we will leave it. God is an embodiment of Karuna, but there's so much suffering in this world. Okay, Karuna Sagara, all that we sing. I don't know. Then maybe we should remove that name. But if God is compassionate, why is there suffering? That's the question. Number one. Number two, by here, Swami means Karuna means God's compassion, not human compassion. Generally, we tend to think human beings have compassion. Look after your wife, look after your husband, look after your child. The problem for God is very complex. There, Swami tells the story. There are 2 neighbors. One fellow is a farmer, one fellow is a rich fellow. The rich fellow has organized a picnic. I think we have a picnic coming up. So where everyone they're having an outdoor party. Whereas the farmer has just planted seeds. The farmer is sitting and praying, God, I want rain, I want rain. The rich person says, I have a party, I have invited a lot of people, I don't want rain today. So who should God show compassion to? I think that's the question. So there are always conflict. There are 2 people competing in a race. Both won the first prize. Both are praying to God. What will God do? So I will just leave with those thoughts. But God always shows Karuna. Human beings may not understand. Okay, it's 10:14. I will leave this. We have 1 week to ponder over this. Until we ponder over and understand Karuna, the reading Ramakatha Rasavahini will not help. Okay, with those thoughts, I think we'll close the session for today. It's 10:15 or 10:14. It's a good place to contemplate, and we'll meet again next week. We'll close with Samasta Loka prayer. Sai Ram. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Thank you.